Merry Meetle. So here's Sunna and the 3 newbies. So this is, girls, come on. See, Sunna, that is your fault. Being a nasty pasty, and now they're thinking you're attacking them, and then she thinks they're attacking her, and then on it goes. So keeping an eye. So I've decided to slowly introduce, at least one into the bath with the newbies. Now, these guys were dropped off around 4 o'clock, nearly 5 o'clock last night, and I've had a chance to have a good look at them today. Hello, sweetheart, Beatrix. Now they're all good except a couple of little things. So I've noticed Potter here. He's a little sniffly. Now, bear in mind, they basically had a 2-hour trip in a car, and the 3 of them, I think the 3 of them were together in the same cage. So, they're really big, heavy birds, the Silver Appleyards. Easily could have hurt it, and when birds get scared, they tend to hurt themselves running into things and all whatnot. So, she could have hurt her leg on the way up here. So we'll start from that. I rang up the lady who I bought them from, and she's like, oh no, I don't know if there's any issues, because I asked, look, is there any history with, Beatrix's right leg? And she's like, no, I don't know any. Maybe hurt on the way here, because something I notice is when Beatrix stands, she just collapses on the right side, and for me, I'm in my head thinking, oh no, not another Sunna incident, you know what I mean? I don't have the capacity time-wise and everything to take on just special need ducks. I'm okay with one, but, more than that, I just can't. I've got so much to do already. But she's like, no, so I'm going to have to take that face value. However, so this morning, pretty much 10 hours later, they all had their first herbal bath with Sunna, because Sunna's rehab. Beatrix! And what I've noticed on Beatrix is, and remember the history of bumblefoot and everything I went through with bumblefoot with the 4 girls, including Sunna, now it's gone. The only girl that's got bumblefoot left is Luca, and it's like almost completely disappeared. But remember the other Silver Appleyard I've got, Bella, outside, who's outside now with the flock. Remember how she had one on her right side, and she wobbled a little bit, but the breed wobbles, so I thought it was part of that. But no, she was wobbling extra on that one side, and one of the boys mated her, and in the process of mating her actually injured her wing. And I took her to the vet and had to get anti-inflammatories to bring the swelling down so she was comfortable while the wing healed. And the thing is, the wing that got injured was on the side of the leg which had the bumblefoot. So what happens is, especially with a big bird like this, if they have bumble and a boy rides them, I mean, he's not even a year old, he's massive, so he's not fully woohoo, I just want to mate everything in sight. Yeah. Sunna, oh, you watch it, I'll tape that bill shut. I'm not going to do that, I'm just saying. She doesn't know that. So what happened with Bella is, because she couldn't put her weight on evenly, and being such a big bird, their legs are further back than the other breeds. The legs are also further apart than the other breeds. So, you add that together, and they can't distribute their weight evenly already, and then even more so because they got pretty much a callus plug under their foot, which is, the black plug, and then underneath that it's an infection. Bella! Sunna! Sorry, I'm talking about Bella. Sunna! Be nice. No nippies. You know what it's like to be the odd one out. Be nice. Sunna. That's okay. We can do cuddles. That's cuddles. But no nipping. We stop at nipping, yeah? Good girl. So, now, the thing with ducks, if they have an injury and they don't move, that's going to be they're not really going to recover that quickly, and they're not going to recover that well. But when you've got a heavy bird, extra weight on the leg, moving it, and this is why the water is really important for them, especially if they have an injury. So, possibly, Beatrix here has sustained a sprained leg, or even flipper on the way up here, but the chances of that being higher than normal is because she actually has a bumblefoot on the foot that she's dropping down on. So I pretty much am going to have to isolate her for 4 weeks. So I just I've got my run. I'm waiting on more hardware cloth. When I get more hardware cloth, I'll be able to do a nice division of the run. I don't think it's a good idea for me to separate her from the boy. I mean, he's not riding her yet. Okay. If he was riding her, then I'd be, I'm sorry guys, this is really tough, especially coming to a new home. You're going to want to be around, who you've been brought up with. But, yeah. So anyway, we are where we are. So she definitely has a bumble on each foot. She's got one on the left foot, which is really small, and one on the right foot that she's collapsing on, and it's over the entire foot pad. Now, I remember, not long ago, Bella had the same thing, and it took me 4 weeks, but I removed it naturally by having a warm herbal bath in the morning and at night, and an opportunity to exercise like this, playing, and he's cleaning his feet. Oh, he's a good boy. Then naturally it goes. There's no need to force it off. I think at the end of the day, when you force a bumble plug off, you're going to get reoccurring bumblefoots and staph infections. I think you're going to have reoccurring issues later on. So I think it's best to do it natural, slower over time. And, if things persist for longer than 4 weeks, I would then go to the vet and I'll be getting antibiotics and basically treating any staph infection that has made its way into the bloodstream. Sooner is taking anti-inflammatories and antibiotics just in case there's any staph in the bloodstream, even though she's got no more plugs. But the fact she's disabled, you know what I mean? We've just taken the extra precaution. She's got enough against her, so yeah, you're having fun there. Oh, duckies, but oh my goodness. They're doing well. 2-hour trip. And you've got to remember too, when you get birds from a breeder, often, you've got birds in a massive pack. The breeders don't have the time to do what I do with my birds every day. So they've got hundreds of birds, sometimes thousands. And, don't get the image of them in little pens, like you see in egg farms. No, not like that. They usually have individual sheds and runs, and they have to section them off, and especially at springtime, because the boys just cause damage otherwise by accident. It's not on purpose. But they don't have this time to do this stuff every day. They don't. So you can't have your cake and eat it too, so to speak. When you're getting a bird, sometimes shit like this happens, and you just run with it. And she's right. There's no way I'm going to say, oh, I want another bird and take this bird back. We'll do it. Look at her tail. Oh, that's a good sign. Look at her. Oh my gosh. You and Fendry are going to be crazy. So I'm going to let them continue doing this, splashing about and carrying on for, another hour if they need. This is so good for her foot and her legs. She needs to exercise and move, but when she's heavy like that, and she's got plugs on her foot, bumble plugs, she just can't put the weight down. So that bumble that she's got on the right side, that's really big. It's like almost the entire padding of her foot is one big plug. That would have taken at least a few months to develop, at least. Like, that's not, And then she's got a small one on the outer left side of her left foot developing, and that would be from compensating gait. So, we've got her in time. She probably also does have a sprained foot. This boy, he's just heavy, and he's like a freaking bowling ball when he's bounding and going full pelt. Add his weight to her inside a cage travelling, easily would have caused an injury. She would have had less time to compensate her gait or move. That's probably what has happened. But I mean, I'm going to let the lady know what I've seen tonight regarding the bumble and that causation, because she's probably going to have a few other birds with bumble as well. Because that's how it goes. It is contagious, which is why it's good if you're treating one bird, you might as well treat all of them for bumblefoot in regards to warm herbal baths. And Beatrix, be nice, come on, good girl. I'm just amazed. Not even 24 hours later, and I've already got them, listening. I was holding Tiggy Winkle before, and she was just, Beatrix, be nice, good girl. And she was up my neck and having a nice cuddle, and and he's already had a few cuddles. Beatrix has had a couple of cuddles. I had a feel of her leg above the hop. There is a little bit of swelling in there. Tiggy. But I think Sunna's having fun. Even she's being a little bit feisty before, showing them the ropes. Oh, you having fun? We like friends. Oh, my poor leg. Yeah, good girl. Sunna. I've got to give her a medication. I was even contemplating giving her medication also to Beatrix here, but that means next week I'll have to take her to the vet again to get more. I just can't afford that. So $270 gone. Like I just don't have it, after spending on everything else, hardware cloth, the bed box, the box I'm using to make the bed for them, that's coming. I've just dropped nearly $1,000 over the past 3 weeks, getting the birds, getting the extra hardware cloth, getting the extra big box to use as a bed, and I also just took Sunna to the vet to get the anti-inflammatories and antibiotics, so I just can't. So I'm just going to do the conservative treatment for Beatrix here for those plugs. I'm going to know more finitely what I'm going to do when I get to sit down and just, map it out in the diary. I've got a diary that I use just for the healthcare of my animals. I think it's important to have something like that. I think if you have a little A5 diary that you can do that with, because if you have it all in together, I just feel like it's easy to overlook things. But the thing is, if you have animals as pets, they're part of your family, you have an animal contract. Whether you know it or not, you have a contract as a pet owner to do the absolute best you can for your... Oh, Potter, you're a dag. Oh my gosh, you and Fawn and Frigg are going to be like the 3 amigos. Yeah, you're going to have a blast. I can just see you 3 now. Look at her. You having fun, honey? Yeah, it's nice to move. Oh, Sunna's like, oh my gosh, this is so much energy in here. Sunna! Oh. You've got a contract. Whether you know it or not or realise it, you've got a contract, and you need to do the best you can with what you got for your animals. And if you can't, or you couldn't be bothered, surrender your animals to someone who can and will. Don't be selfish. there's nothing wrong with admitting that you can't handle something because your plate's already full. You know, I'll put that out there because, you know, I guess there's a bit of a stigma. There probably is a bit of a stigma against people that surrender animals. And I mean, sometimes it's, maybe there is dodgy reasons, but often people just have their plates too full. And I mean, it sort of goes into other areas, you know, like there's a lot of things I don't agree about people, you know, things they do and things, but at the same time, I think a lot of people don't have the knowledge base in some areas. They don't have the exposure or experience or understanding to come up with a different way of doing things or conclusion. So they're just doing their best with what they have. You know, I mean, especially if you're brought up in a certain situation and you haven't had the courage to leave it, you're sort of conditioned to believe that's normal and acceptable. I mean, you know, at some point in time, society's going to catch up with you. You're going to have to change some things, but you still don't condone the behaviour, but you can at least understand why they got there. So you sort of remove your level of anger or frustration, because at the end of the day, most folks are just doing the best with what they know and what they can. And sometimes they just don't know better. You know, and the way society has been sliding down the tube for such a long time, what do you expect? You know, so the same thing with those who might have to surrender animals because they just can't handle it. Remove the stigma, you know, I mean, often they really love their animals and they're just gutted they could do that in the first place. So a little bit of understanding, I think, just stops a bit of the animals being dropped off somewhere in a box. You know what I mean? Oh, Tiggy Winkle! Tiggy Winkle! Look at this. The floor's all wet. I think they think the idea of the bath is to see how much water you can get onto the floor outside of the bathtub. Is that right? Fido. Look at his beautiful markings. Doesn't he remind you of a Malamute? Look at his face. It goes all green, but this is just his, you know, autumnal change. Look at his moustaches on his tail, the little curly whirls. Oh, look at you, sweetie. Beatrix. So she's got a bit more of a chestnut colour compared to Bella. Bella's more silver grey, whereas this gorgeousness, she's got a bit of a chestnut mohawk, whereas Bella's got a silver grey mohawk. Look at him. Oh, are we having fun? Are we having fun? Yeah. Yeah, you can stay there for a while. Yeah. Stay there for a while. Bup, bup, bup. So I'm going to top up some hay into the bed they were sleeping in. Staying in during the day. Because that's where all the girls are going to go tonight. And they're going to go back into the smaller box that the two boys used to be in. So I'm going to have to get that ready. Hey, honey. Oh, bup, 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 bup. You're getting a lot of exercise there, Sunna. It's good for you. Yeah. They're making you exercise. She's like trying to keep up with the dolphin diving. Oh. So there you go, guys. Say hello to Beatrix, Potter and Tiggy Winkle. And right off the bat, we're treating Beatrix here for bumblefoot on both feet. And she also seems to have a sprained leg or foot somewhere down the track. Most likely from transit because she had underlying issues. But I will let the owner know because she might need to treat all of her birds that were with Beatrix here for bumblefoot. And the thing you'll notice with, again, to reiterate, bumblefoot is most likely going to affect your girls and not your boys. Because the thing is, the girls get ridden, and when they get ridden, if they're off balance or their surface has something sharp, they get a graze or a cut. And it can be on anything. I mean, you can be really careful and still they'll manage to graze or or aggravate the surface of their foot. Their flippers are so sensitive. And then boom, you got a staph infection, develops quite quick. So, you know, no, look at you. No, no. You having fun, Sunna? Oh, they're tiring you out. Oh, Sunna. You're getting a good run for your money now. You're getting a lot of exercise. Yeah, she's like, oh my gosh, these guys are off the charts. Yeah, that's because I've been sitting in a box all day. Yeah, I could still move, but not like this. I'm swimming. I need to swimming. I'm going to take Sunna out now, give her a medication and put her in the clean bed. I'm just going to add some hay. Sorry, the bed's clean. I just need to add some hay to the girls' bed for the night. And Sunna will go on it, and these three will go into the smaller bed. So hopefully we get the, maybe they'll be alright. Hopefully we get the new bed box come Sunna. You get the new bed box come Monday, so a couple of days from now. So I'm actually putting a crate up here for the two boys, Frigg, the brothers, Frigg and Fawn, and then all the girls are going in this, and then the three newbies are staying over here, so they can still hear and see each other across, but you know, they're getting to know each other. When I get the big box, this will become the box for the boys, and the big box is basically going to come out further to the inside of my foot where I've got that tape, and it's going to go all the way down to here. So it's going to be a nice decent size. It'll be good for what will be then the 8 girls. And what else? Oh, Sunna, I'm coming, honey. So I've got a horse starry and I use that for my birds. What was I going to get to? Yeah, so hopefully the hardware cloth also comes on Monday, or not far after, so I can start taking the new birds outside, but still isolated from the pack. And what I most likely will do is put Tiggy Winkle, the Cayuga, with everybody first in introductions, and then I'm kind of not wanting to separate the silver boy and girl because they've grown up together and he's not mating her, so you know, if he starts mating her and she's still got a bumble, then they'll have to be separated. But what I might do as well is keep Sunna with the two silvers isolated from everyone else until the bumble on the new girl goes away, and you know, that should be about 4 weeks from now. You know, this is the thing, you have birds, animals, period. You're bringing in animals, even the best kept conditions, something can go wrong. It's a good practice to quarantine new birds anyway for at least 4 weeks before you introduce them to your flock as a biosecurity practice. But I know this lady from before, you know what I mean? So there's a little bit of trust. She also has isolated the birds already for at least the past month and a half. So, you know what I mean? Shit happens. Okay, Sunna, time to get you. Look at the floor. It is soaked. Oh my goodness. You having fun? Oh, Sunna. Alright, I gotta get Sunna out. She's like, get me out of here. Oh, first of all, I've got to put fresh hay on top of. So this was cleaned out this morning, but it's kind of a little bit damp now because the 3 newbies have been in here because it's a bit bigger. I don't want to leave them in that one. They can still walk around in it, but not as much as this one here. So I wanted them to have some space to move around as I worked on my computer here, so they were next to me. Anyway, blessed be Mary Part. That's the newbies and bumblefoot. Oh my goodness, the curse of the bumbles. Blessed be and merry part.